And welcome to the Confound Millennial, starring Stirvin Michaels and Ryan Diamondz, featuring special guest, my friend and yours, Matt Mingus of Dance Gavin Dance.
Woo! Hey, are you sleeping in the woods? Hey, are you sleeping like a shit? Are we crackers on camels or birds in a flock? Are we caricatures? Are we cream of the crop? Starting at the bottom of the page. Skip right to the ending for a glimpse of your face. Do you get the better of the fame? Or do you let it shatter all the bonds that you made? You love the step and you know it by effort.
Once again, I thought I edited that down a little shorter, but I didn't.
Well, hello.
Welcome, Matt.
Welcome. That song sounds exhausting on the drums.
Dude, that song, yeah, it's challenging, and we're talking about playing that live, maybe on the next tour, and I'm like, fuck, I got my practice cut out for me with that.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I just want to.
So you guys haven't played that live yet?
No, not yet.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was looking for songs, especially off the newer album, because last time we had you on, you announced an album, I think the week after. Like you came on and then you announced Jackpot Juicer like the next week. So we didn't get to talk about any of that.
Yeah. I know. I'm glad to be back and talk, more band stuff. I know last time we just kind of were shooting the shit. So I figured we could do a proper music interview.
Ooh.
But don't worry, all you nerds out there. We will get back to Mario Golf at some point.
Dude, I haven't even played that in like a year.
Oh, wow.
I'm on a new kick. They just
Let's talk.
Oh, here we already go. So they just released on the N64 emulator on the Switch. They just put out GoldenEye, the OG GoldenEye.
That's awesome.
So sick.
Nice.
So
It's online multiplayer too.
Yeah, my wife and I. No, not online multiplayer yet. Dude. They need to do that. If they were smart, they would do that. It'd be rad.
That's awesome.
So my wife and I have been playing that a lot.
We're going to jump right into it and right into the beginning of like time. The world started and then several things happened that nobody thought was popular. And then Dance Gavin Dance was formed. When was that?
That was in 2005. It was in the summer. It's hard to pinpoint an exact date, but that's when we all started to get together. So Will and I linked up when I think I was 15. And at that time he would have been about 18. And our bands, we were in two separate bands, but we shared a practice studio. And basically they wanted to get a new drummer. And so I was down. I figured I'd give it a shot. I liked their music. And so sadly I quit my other band, who I'm still friends with some of the guys, and joined Will's band, which at the time was called Farewell Unknown. And I played with them for about a month, and then it just kind of fizzled out. I think we just wanted to start something new and fresh. And so he was like, I know this guy who's got a good voice. He lives up in Seattle, and I think I'll go pick him up and we'll start a band, and then the rest is kind of history from there. We just started jamming. The first year of the band, we would just get drunk in our practice studio and play for our girlfriends and shit. And rock out. It's so stupid. But yeah, that's what it was like back then.
How long do you think it took you guys to turn into that first album?
Well, we did an EP first. The Whatever I Say Is Royal Ocean. And we kind of jumped into that pretty quick. And we wrote, 5 or 6 songs over the course of that first year. And then we recorded them with the guy, Phil Deverall, I think was his name. But he had a studio at the same place we practiced. And so he recorded our first EP. And then from that, it all kind of happened quick. We got our first show and then started playing locally. And then some guys hit us up. First our manager. And then, sorry, my dogs are psycho. Anyways, and then so yeah, we got our manager, and then he kind of shopped us around to a record label, which was Rise Records, and we signed to them, and we already had songs ready to go for an album, and it all happened kind of quick. And then we went up to Portland and recorded our first album. It was a few days after my birthday, which is January 5th. And
Happy birthday! We missed it.
Well, this is at that time. You guys missed. We're a little late now, but and that was in 2007. So I was still in high school when we went and recorded that first record, and my dad this is so funny. When we did our first record deal, I forged my dad's signature with his permission, but because I was under 18, I had to have a parent or guardian sign for me, and we were trying to get it done, and my dad was like, "Oh, just sign it." So
that's cool.
So I did, and yeah,
2007. I was 23.
Yeah, I had just turned 18. I was wrapping up my senior year.
Wow. That's great. What a good dad.
Maybe 13.
And look, I look younger than both of y'all. Booyah!
Yeah, dude. What's your secret?
I can't tell. Pizza.
Nice.
He just rubs pizza slices all over his face.
Oh, so it's just naturally
oily.
The oils really bring out the youth.
Well, yeah, and your body gets immune to the grease and the oils. And
look, I'll be honest, it's pizza and adrenochrome.
Oh no, damn! You got an adrenochrome hookup? Sick. I thought the main guy for that, not sadly, but the main guy for that is deceased.
No, he is.
And that's not sad, by the way.
That's not sad at all.
If you know, you know.
If you don't, it's still funny.
And so, back to the music. The most important thing I'm going to ask you all day, actually, and it's nothing about the music. It's something that we had talked about on the phone the other day. The evolution of the facial hair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It is longer.
I was watching the music video for Tree City, and I saw that bright yellow shirt.
Oh, the music video for Tree Village.
Oh, Tree Village. Sorry.
It's all good. We like trees.
Yeah, lots of tree stuff going on.
I do like
trees. Tree Village.
Hug a tree.
And you had the yellow shirt on and a mustache of legends.
Yeah, dude. I should have busted out that yellow shirt for this interview. I still have that shit. Oh,
you have it? That's like your Batman gear, dude.
It's so hideous. I was going through a bunch of old stuff and like getting rid of old clothes and like some of the stuff sentimental. A lot of my band T-shirts from back in the day. I'm like, I'm not gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna wear them, but I might want to look back on this and reminisce on the times one day. And I came across that yellow shirt, so I still have it. God, that thing is fucking ugly. I don't know what I was thinking. But, I remember why I wore it for the video, because I was like, oh, it kind of matches my drum set with the Rasta colors, the red, yellow, and green. And And then yeah. So, anyways, back to the facial hair. I started growing a goatee when I was like 14 years old.
Wow.
So when I was that age, I desperately wanted to look older than I was. So that's kind of why I always had facial hair, because I was like, oh, this adds a couple of years, and I don't have to get carded when I buy smokes and stuff. And
Because you're cool.
yeah. So, but anyways, it progressed into the beard, which I've had now for a decade, for 10 years. And it crosses my mind, like I was telling you the other night when we were on the phone. I think about doing a little reset. I forget what my chin even looks like, and just kind of taking it off. It's hair; it'll grow back. But
It'll grow back.
But that's the thing, is I have this fear that I will shave it off and it won't grow back. Like I lost the ability to grow a beard, so I'm
It's
like,
not
I
a
just hold on to
superpower.
it. Yeah, it's not. So for now,
It'll
the
stop
beard is
here
staying,
before it stops here.
Dude,
And then- and then-
And
I've
then it'll
officially
start here.
decided I'm gonna grow out a little bit, and I'm gonna braid it like Viking braids
Yeah,
and put beads
dude.
in it and stuff,
Like
dude.
that bass player
Yeah,
from System of a Down.
I've had my beard. I've had my beard braided before. Actually, we were in this bar in somewhere. It was in upstate New York, and it was after the show, and there was some people there from the show, and I let this guy. Oh man, I can't remember his name, but these people we were hanging out with, and I let this random guy just braid my beard into 2 sick ass braids, and I rocked it for like he did it good, like he did them nice and tight, and I rocked it for like a week.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
I get
Yeah.
cornrows every time I have to go to a bachelor party. I'll just get cornrows.
Hell
I
yeah.
got a girl. It's awesome. Braids
Damn,
are
how
nice.
many bachelor parties are you going to?
We don't need to talk about it. I turned 40 this year. I've done my
Oh,
share.
yeah, okay.
40. That's cool.
Y'all are
though.
so old.
Oh,
Yeah, I just turned 34.
that's awesome,
So,
man.
I'm
Love it.
crossing into that. I'm crossing into that realm where I'm like, fuck, I kind of am starting to get a little old.
But I still feel like I don't have my poop in a group. Like I'm still a kid. It doesn't make sense. I just have
Same
a
here.
really good wife that takes care of me.
Wait, instead of saying shit together, did you just say poop in a group?
I did. I put my
Yeah.
poop
I
in a
love
group.
that.
I got
I
all
like
my
that
poop
too.
together and put it in a backpack. It's a poop in a group. That's me. Well, I didn't cuss until I was like in my 20s, and my dad was so proud. So I have my own way of saying things, or I picked up my own way of saying things, especially when
Oh,
kids
yeah.
are around, or when I'm on a kid-friendly podcast.
I
Good
I
on you.
started cussing like 13, and my parents did not like that, but who cares? Either way, back to things. I want to skip ahead a bit. We'll be bouncing back and forth because I have ADD out the ass, and my notes are that way. But
All
so,
good.
Jackpot Juicer, that came out, and from what I can tell, did really well, and I loved it. But the music videos are what I want to talk about here.
Yes, let's talk about it.
So I have my partner's name is Abby, and they are an artist, and we were just watching YouTube. I do it old school. I don't listen to Spotify or anything. I just put YouTube playlists on.
That's not old.
And
school.
yeah, that's old school nowadays.
Okay.
I
Anyway,
mean,
I'm sorry. I
technology.
interrupted.
You better apologize. Okay, but either way, they started drawing John Mess as the Rat King. And I just wanted to let you know, I may be the only person in the world that has had to map out the entire lore of those 3 music videos
No
just
shit.
for that drawing.
What do you mean?
Like, they were asking me all these questions like, Why is he a rat now? Why wasn't Tillian a rat? Like, what's up with the cheese? Why are they all fruit? Just all these questions I had to come up with answers with. I was like, I don't know. You want me to call Mingus and ask?
You know what's funny is, so like when we come up and the producer Sam Helene comes up with the ideas for the videos, they all seem so sequential and like a really solid, easygoing storyline. And then when we actually go and make them, like they tend to kind of fall off and stray from the path a little bit, and just kind of become their own thing. And you know, we tried the best we could with, we've never done a 3-part thing with 3 music videos all interconnected. So you know, we did the best we could to stay on track. But what happens too is on those shoots, you know, sometimes time gets the best of you, and it's like, oh shit, like we just straight up don't have time to film this scene or that scene, and so we got to find another way to make it intertwine together. And so I think it's essentially that's what happened with that trilogy, was time was a factor.
Is there any like key things you wish that you guys would have been able to record that fell through the cracks?
No, I mean, the tough thing that happened was Tim passed away, and we weren't done filming the last video for Die Another Day. And so he passed, and then we had to just go and do makeup shots without him. And that was really weird, and it's a little difficult, but we were trying to salvage, you know, what we could. I know, you know, from the bottom of my heart, that's what he would have wanted, was to finish it up. So, but that definitely threw a wrench in some of the plans.
Yeah. Sorry to hear about that and bring it up, but
Oh, dude, it's fine.
but you know, that hit everybody. I know it hit you guys, and I'm glad that, you know, you guys are still trucking through it. And you know, rest in peace, Tim. We love you.
Yeah, yeah. It's, you know, it's funny because we all kind of thought that it would get a little easier, you know, with him gone, and it just really hasn't yet, and I don't know if it ever will. You know, when we're up there playing certain songs in certain sections, you know, and obviously everybody in the band's different and shared different moments with him, but so I can only speak for me. But you know, it's I get a little choked up sometimes. There's a couple songs, but you know, it's important for us to stay together as a group and be strong together. And we you know, we talk about it. We talk about it openly, and talk about missing him, and just something will come up and be like, fuck, Tim would have thought this shit was hella funny, or Tim would have hated this, and, you know, and so it just is what it is. But you know, we miss that guy a lot, and but we just keep doing the deal because we know that he would have wanted us to continue on. And you know, this band was a big part of his life, and he was a big part of our life. So for us to just give up, you know, that wouldn't be what's right for him. So we continue staying strong.
Did you happen to ever see the memorial candlelit vigil thing they did at the Afterburner painting?
Yeah, that was really sweet. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go to that. We were getting ready for Swanfest, and there was certain people, you know, that worked for the band that were like, you know, maybe you guys shouldn't go because this is all about Tim, and if you guys show up, then
And it's not
people
about
like
him anymore.
get excited. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we didn't, but fortunately, I live in Sacramento still. I'm the last one here. But I was able to drive by and see all the candles, and they're out there for a long time. And the mural is still there too.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet, and it just goes to show that we have some of the,
Mm.
I mean, best fans out there. They actually really care about our band, and we care about them. And it's been an interesting year, and we've had some shit happen that we're trying to mend now. But it's important for us to do what we know in the bottom of our hearts is right, and that's all I'm going to say on that issue.
Yeah.
But
speaking of the fans, would you mind if we cut to a couple fan questions?
Sure. Love to.
We have not quite a few, but a few people that wrote in. So I'm sorry if I leave you out. Let's see. Let's start with Jared Dawson asks, are there any like drum licks that you're particularly proud of?
Oh man, there's a lot of them, but it's funny because it's like every new record, I feel like I progressively get better, because
Heck
we
yeah.
practice. Obviously, that's the idea of playing music.
You
is
should
always
get better.
Yeah, it's trying to constantly get better. And if you're digressing, then I don't know if you might not be doing something right. So as far as on the new record, like that song that you played, "Cream of the Crop,"
It is.
that was challenging for me in the studio to record, and but when I can just push myself over and over and over and over until I get it right, and I finally get it right for the recording, it's like, yes,
I don't have to do it again.
Yeah. And when we track our albums, we try to just get the take and leave minimal editing, like I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that we haven't cheated on parts before, and done some little studio magic, because we have, but we try really, really hard not to, so that song, I was able to nail it. That felt good. And then, there's a little section in Die Another Day. It's like the bridge where it's like super jammy. And I really like what I did there, and trying and relearning that song to play it live is like, I can do all the entire song perfect up until there. It's like taking a lot of practice, because I want to try and do exactly what I did on the record, because we did like 100 takes of that part, and then finally we were like, all right, this is the one. I was just kind of jamming it out by feel, and so it's been challenging relearning that perfect take. But if I had to go back, an older song, I love Man of the Year. My drums on that song, I always felt like I was able to shine a lot on that. And but I like I said, I try to do my best and what's best, not just for me, but for that part, or that song, that style of song. I don't need to always be showing off and flashing, like we have so much other shit going on. It's like there's parts where I can just chill in the background,
You don't have to shine the entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Just make everybody else shine. Like, help
It's being
everybody
tasteful.
else. Yeah.
Being tasteful. And that's cool if that's your thing, I see a lot of bands with that, shreddy stuff, and that's rad, and there is a time and a place for it. And but with our band, we try to do everything with taste,
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm gonna butcher all these names. The next question from Mike Glowacki. If you could share the stage for one night with any musician / band, who would it be? If you haven't already.
Oh man, yeah, I love that question. Oh man, there's so many good artists and so many different people I would pick for different reasons. Anyone?
Bach.
Yeah, Mozart. No, he's deaf, like trying to listen on the ground, right? I think this is Mozart or Beethoven. One of them were deaf.
They didn't say they had to be living, so
I would probably say, you know, I'm a huge fan. And they're not. I don't think they're a band anymore. But this band Dredge. I used to love Dredge, and we almost played with them one time, and I was so stoked, and then it fell through. But that band's always been such a big inspiration to me. Their drummer Dino, and his style of playing, like, is what really wore off on me. And you know, he's super tasteful and flashy when he needs to be. And then so you know, another band that we've been saying for years too is the Deftones.
Oh wow.
Like, love the Deftones. You know, I think we've been on Aftershock or some festival with them, but we've never gotten to play with them. So there's two rock bands, more realistic. You know, I could pull some other weird shit out, but I'd say that.
Let's see here. Ivan Braginski says hi. I'll do two more.
Hold on, let me close these things.
I'm loving the J.J. Abrams solar flare right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Sorry.
Shayna Blakely says that you've inspired them to take up drumming and they're saving for a kid. Thanks for being so fucking rad.
Yeah.
And the last and possibly most important question is just about an opinion. It says, ask him his opinion on sloths and cheese. Two separate things. They have nothing to do with each other.
Maybe,
okay.
Maybe not.
Sloths. I'll start there.
They love cheese.
Love them. Fucking love them. Love sloths. They seem cute. I've heard they smell horrible. I've actually came across a baby sloth once. I was in Florida. I was on tour. I wasn't playing drums for Dance Gavin Dance. I was playing drums for a band called I Set My Friends on Fire. and yes, I did one tour with that band. And the singer Matt, he was in the market for a baby sloth. I'm not even making this shit up. This is fucking real shit. And so we went to this exotic animal farm, like Tiger King type shit, you know, like literally, like it was like one of those Tiger King type places. The dude had hella ligers and all this shit and just crazy exotic animals. And he took us into a room and like showed us this baby sloth that he was selling. And you know, at the time I just wasn't aware, and about what's morally correct and whatnot. And now, like, telling the story and looking back, I'm like, man, that's kind of fucked up. Like, you know, I'm not like this crazy, animal rights activist, but you know, there's got to be a line, and selling these wild animals and breeding them is you know. But anyways,
I for baby sloths.
Yeah. So you held a baby sloth.
I digress. So back to cheese. I love cheese. I'm a cheese guy. I like to eat it. I like to cut it. I love to cut the cheese.
Let me pull that finger.
That's for my dads out there. And basically, we were having a Christmas party over here at my house, my wife and I, just for the family, this last Christmas. And so I was like, oh man, I'm gonna bust out. I'm gonna go buy some fancy cheeses and make a cool
robusto
charcuterie board and all this. And man, I didn't know cheese gets so fucking expensive. Excuse my language. And next thing I know, I'm buying $120 worth of cheese. I swear to God. And so but I got really obsessed with it. I made this really cool board. I wish I had a picture of it to show you guys. It turned out beautiful. And, we just went to town on the cheese as a family. Sorry, that's such a
Went to town on the cheese as a family. I'm gonna make a shirt. We went to town on the cheese as a family.
Oh, that was such a stupid story. But that's a true story.
It's beautiful. I love it.
That Mingus loves cheese. He's the real rat king.
He loves to cut cheese.
I do.
A buddy of mine loves Robusto cheese. He always says it's got these little crystals in it, and when you bite those crystals, that's where the flavor's at. I'm like, I'm not spending that much money on some stinky cheese that I don't really care for.
Oh man, I love this. The stinkier, the better, man. Oh yeah.
Especially when the family's around.
Yeah, especially with the family.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. Family time.
So jumping back around, just trying to make the best of my time here, I'm going to jump into a more serious topic. Your sobriety. There were quite a few people that congratulated you on that.
That's great.
And I wanted to see how long it's been.
Man, it's been just over 16 months. So yeah,
Great.
coming up on 17 months. No fronts though, so I'll say just over 16. But no, it's going good. Just still, I just put my priority first, or my priority. I put my sobriety as my priority first and foremost, and then my whole life just goes so much better. So no, it's been really good, and it's been amazing. The comments from fans and meeting some people at some meet and greets that are also sober, and being able to have that bond and connection with them is really cool. And it's just wild. I just never thought I could do it, over 16 months ago. I thought it was an impossible task, and I was wrong, I love it. It was the best thing I've ever done, in my entire life, was get clean and sober. So
one of the hardest things to do, but it is so worth it. So worth it.
Yeah. And as I always like to say too, if you're having a hard time, just reach out to someone, ask for help. There's always people willing to help and show you the path to a better lifestyle.
And there's basically, and especially with, the internet now, you can find a group anywhere, anytime, just about.
Group, yeah, we got all sorts of meetings, groups. You just gotta search or gotta reach your hand out, and a miracle can happen. You just never know. But
I'm really proud of you, man, for keeping up with it, because just as one guy that loves to drink too much to another, I just know how easy it can be to go back, and I'm really glad you're still pushing forward with it.
Dude, thanks. Yeah, I've done 3 tours now sober. Doing that first sober tour was, it wasn't like super challenging. It was just different. I spent being on the road for 16 years, just being fucked up all the time, So now I had to basically retrain my brain how to act on tour and how to occupy my time, in a healthy way. And, but.
Did it affect your drumming coming back sober? Because I know I used to play guitar drunk a lot. And then when I got sober, I was like, I felt like I was having to relearn it, but it was probably I just was never really good, but being drunk made me feel like I was good at it.
Dude, so yeah, I feel like I've gotten way more solid since I've been sober, especially live, and I've had people who's worked for our band for a long time, like our sound guy and stuff, and they're like, man, they're like, since you've gotten clean, like there's a big difference in your playing live every night, and it's way more consistent and solid. And I'm not just saying that to toot my own horn. I'm just saying, you know, this is one of those benefits of being sober. Like I definitely at first would get a little more nervous before going on every night. You know, I used to have a couple drinks, take the edge off, and then not having that, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm nervous. Like this is going to be awkward. And then the second I get out there and there's people and they're all stoked, I mean, that just goes out the window and it's just like, yes, this is what I do. This is my drug right here. So.
And, man, I'm just really glad to hear all that. It's, but once again, skipping around, that's going to be a poster for the show now, is just me saying once again, skipping around.
I like it.
So we were talking about, music videos a little bit ago, and I was just, going on a binge today, and I really need to know if you can remember this. The music video for Betrayed by the Game. What in the hell was in those donuts?
Oh, the green stuff?
Yeah. And
I
did it
think it was
taste any
just-
good?
You know, I didn't actually try it. I think some of the other guys did. I'm pretty sure it's just like jelly with green food coloring put in it.
I was just, it just looks so nasty, but it's so funny.
Yeah, it's not as you know, toxic and radioactive as it looks. No one died on set that day, except for the drum riser. John Mess decided when we were done shooting to completely trash that riser. I'm not even making it up. He like stomped on it and like fell through it. It was crazy. This was the old crazy John Mess. He's tamed. He's tame now.
He's tame now.
Yeah.
We got him some horse tranquilizers. This is all good.
Yeah, horse tranks. Well, rat poison.
So speaking of him, I did want to ask if you have a favorite John Mess lyric.
Yeah. I mean, I love a lot of his lyrics. My favorite, like, popular one is that's so freaking random that I know a lot of people like, is riding a rhino pico de gallo. Something about that, and I always remember it. It's so silly. But no, he says a lot of clever stuff, and he only gets more clever with his lyrical content as the band progresses, which is really neat.
My old favorite used to be Endorphin, Orphan, Morphin, Lemon Cheese Equally.
What song is that from?
Summertime Gladness.
Oh man.
And then I want to get a tattoo based off of Synergy, where he says something about because I'm like this priceless, finest, ice white platypus, blessing the things that I touch, worship me, worship my stuff. I want to get my partner to draw a platypus made of ice, just covered in like gold coins and stuff, and possibly wearing a priest robe.
I like it.
It won't mean anyone to anybody but me. Even the other fans, I'd have to be like, yeah, it's my own interpretation.
Hey, they'd appreciate it, though. They'd appreciate it.
You'd hope so. I'd appreciate it.
So is there, since we are trying to keep to the 45-minute shows, is there anything you would like to say that you think's interesting about the band that you don't think people ask about a lot?
Ooh.
Like anything you might want to say on a podcast that just never gets brought up?
Yeah, I mean, some people, I'm surprised a lot of people don't ask, what do we do on our spare time together, like on tour, like if we have a day off or something. And it's kind of funny, like ever since the band started, and I think this is common with a lot of bands on tour, but we spend our days off. Well, a lot of us will go eat like 6 different meals.
6?
I mean, me and Andrew and John, we call it bang banging. You go eat like 2 meals in a row. I think Louis C.K. came up with that, but so we'll eat like 2 meals back to back, like full fucking meals. That's why I'm on a diet now, guys. and we go to the movies a lot, and I wish I had something more interesting to disclose to you guys.
I think that's great.
No, that's
But
that's still like, that's pretty interesting. Like, yeah, we just go eat 6 meals a day, and we're puking our guts
Waffle
out on
House,
stage the
Denny's,
next day.
Arby's, Wendy's, Ruby Tuesdays, Applebee's.
it's like that. You should see. I'm not making this up. Like, okay, let's say like we all have to go to LA to film a music video, and so we get an Airbnb, and then I swear to God, every 15 minutes there's a Postmate delivery like showing up. I swear, dude.
Pizza.
And we've had occasions where like 2 different food delivery people like cross paths and get there at like the same time. And it's just like, dude, I wonder what the neighbors are thinking if they just see all this food just keeps getting delivered like every fucking 15 minutes.
It's a front.
It's so stupid.
Why is Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Papa John's there at the same time?
It's just a pizza delivery turf war outside of the Gavin Dance studio right now.
Oh shit, there probably is. Probably.
Where's all that ice cream coming from?
we love to eat. We love to eat.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's great. You guys got anything that you can talk about coming up soon? Any tours or anything?
So I can't like disclose everything. All I can say is that yes, there's a US tour coming. That will happen. It'll happen this year, and we are getting ready to start writing a new record.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I can disclose all that. I can't say any specifics or anything, but pretty stoked. Like we've had this sort of routine going, where we try and write and release a record every, year and a half, 2 years maximum. So we plan on keeping to that routine. And yeah. Oh, one other thing I could say that I'm really excited about, just to tease, is there might be a new hot sauce coming.
What? How many
I'm very,
Scovilles?
very excited about that. So, but that's all I can say.
My taste buds and my anus are not prepared.
My anus and his taste buds are not prepared.
No, but
I don't even want to get into
I do need to try your hot sauce sometime.
Oh, dude, I'll have to send you a bottle. I got to send you some stuff, so I'll send that over too.
Thanks, dude.
I have one here at home. Yeah, no problem.
Well, it has been great talking to you again. Hopefully, we can catch up whenever you guys are ready to announce anything in the future. And I love you, man. I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you're doing well. Love you, Diamondz. It's just a love fest right now.
I love the both of you, and we've talked about it for a while. We're like trying to do another one, and I was like, I don't know if it's too soon, but fuck, who cares, man? I was really stoked to come back and chat with you.
I think the
guys.
timing's great right now.
Yeah,
and
and
I'm
you
really
made
glad.
a good point. We did the other one before the album, so now we can talk about it a little bit. And
Yeah,
get
like
more
I didn't even know
questions.
that you guys were about to announce or anything. I was like, oh man, if I'd waited 1 week.
We would have
It's
been
all
so
good.
big.
We'll plan the next one accordingly then.
Nice.
Gotcha. Alrighty, I'll see
you,
you
brother.
guys
Be
in
good.
a minute, but
Yeah.
this has
love you
been the
too.
Confound Millennial, starring Steven Stirvin, Michaels, Ryan Diamondz, and featuring Matt Mingus of Dance Gavin Dance.